Yeah, how you feel about these rumors surrounding, Diddy and TD Jakes?
Why would a religious man like himself be at a party?
It seems that celebrities have been the subject of investigations since Diddy's testimony. While this may not be surprising, have you ever imagined a bishop being trapped in the crossfire and experiencing the heat? Apparently, Bishop TD has. Jack is currently in the limelight as a result of the news that Diddy is scheduled to testify in court and may identify additional high-profile individuals associated with him.
If Bishop Jakes was at a Diddy party, there could only be two reasons: money or sex.
Yes, you have it. Rumor has it that TD Jake attempted to flee the country on the day of Diddy's arrest, as old photographs and videos of him partying with Diddy have resurfaced and gone viral. This could potentially spell disaster for everyone affiliated with Diddy, as he is expected to disclose names, and many believe the FBI could begin pursuing them as well.
It could be your favorite pastor probably led them to damnation, because those people's hearts are going to be broken if that man is...
There is evidence that could potentially land him in hot water, and the fact that a cleric is celebrating with Diddy is bound to raise questions about his morals. Will Diddy also call him out and take him down with him? It is not uncommon for prominent pastors to be featured in the media for reasons other than their sermons. However, Bishop TD Jake has recently deviated from this conventional pattern, resulting in some unexpected headlines. Presently, there are rumors of legal complications surrounding his name. Jake is not unfamiliar with the media. Limelight, over the years, has created a tremendous following, and with his ties to some of the greatest people in the entertainment business, he's carved himself a firm position in society. And of course, celebrities have a way of drawing attention, both positive and negative. Unfortunately, it appears like his latest headlines aren't about sharing the faith over the years. Many have accused TD Jakes of cozying up to some fairly shady personalities, but he always brushed it off, never allowing the doubters to get to him until now lately. However, it looks like that squeaky clean image could be crumbling once you are drawn into one issue after another. It's impossible to prevent the public from beginning to wonder whether there's truth behind the rumors. And that's where Jake is right now. People are starting to wonder if he's as innocent as he's represented himself to be all these years. Things intensified when two others came forward stating they had unsettling encounters with Jakes when they were younger. In a weird twist, his own son has been caught up in a different affair, which has only made people more ready to accept the current charges.
Recently today, I've heard from two other victims that so it's just a lot to talk about.
Jakes has faced his fair share of challenges in the past, but the timing of these new allegations could not be more unfavorable for him. The church that launched TD Jakes' career is not the only factor that has kept him famous. Some surprising allegations have surfaced, such as the incident involving his child, and some have even linked him to Diddy, as per a Dallas police report. Jermaine Donald Jakes, the son of the renowned Dallas megachurch pastor, who has referred to his city as a form of brokenness, and has stated that he would never hire an openly homosexual individual, was apprehended during a gay sting in K Park some time ago. Jermaine was charged with indecent exposure after allegedly exposing himself to two undercover vice police officers. Senior Corporal Janice Crowther, a Dallas Police Department official, confirmed that both detectives involved were male. According to the arrest document, the police were conducting an investigation into sexual misconduct allegations at the park when they observed Jermaine and other individuals entering the parking lot. They pursued them into a wooded area where Jermaine approached them with his trousers unfastened and exposed himself. What is more shocking is that he remained in the area for an extended period of time, establishing eye contact with one of the investigators without attempting to conceal himself, despite the fact that others were walking and running in the vicinity, according to court documents, indicated that Jermaine Jake identified his employer as TD Jake Ministries, which made the issue even more difficult. Though he was held, he was finally freed at the spot. For those who don't know, TD Jakes is the founder of the Potter's House, a 30,000-member church in South Dallas. The irony of the scenario is impossible to miss, as the bishop has long been an ardent opponent of same-sex marriage. He's also been condemned by HIV/AIDS campaigners for adding to the stigma surrounding homosexuality and drug use, and now his own son has been caught in a controversy that's impossible to miss. As if his son's disgrace wasn't enough, Bishop T.D. Jakes may soon face much more severe concerns. Rumor has it that he might be faced with sexual assault claims in court. One of his former accomplices, Manasseh Jordan, recently alleged in a video that victims of the so-called power-bottom bishop are prepared to file lawsuits. Remember when the prophets warned about this? It appears like her prophecy is coming true. In the video, Manasseh Jordan, previously close to Bishop Jake, disclosed that he has communicated with additional victims who have come forward. He further said that Jake's actions impacted him and that now others are sharing similar experiences. It's no secret that Manasseh used to have a tight connection with the bishop. In fact, there's a picture out there showing him looking as comfortable with Jakes as he did in that well-known one with the Black Pope. But it appears Manasseh has finally broken free and is now using his position to help other victims speak. Up in a video broadcast by Manasseh on December 30th, he detailed the latest victims that have come forward against Bishop T.D. Jake just lately. I've heard from 2 additional victims. It's simply a lot to speak about. They suffered the same thing that I did. Manasseh stated in the video that just recently today I've heard from 2 other victims, so it's just a lot to talk about that experience. Manasseh is now saying that 2 persons he talked to were reportedly manipulated and sexually assaulted by Bishop T.D. Jakes. In another segment of the film, Manasseh stated these 2 victims spoke out to him about the indoctrination they purportedly endured at the hands of Jake. According to their statements, they stated that Jake also reportedly assaulted them. 2 of the perpetrators were not only victims of grooming, as I mentioned in some of my prior recordings, but also of sexual assault. Manasseh Jordan added that from the same predator who groomed me and assaulted me as a male, they're going to be bringing charges. It's one thing to publicly condemn homosexual people, but it's another when your own kid becomes engaged in the same scenario you abort. And it's a totally different situation if you find yourself caught up in the identical problems you openly denounce. Don't you think this becomes even more alarming when it might lead to a large court battle? However, what's even more worrying for TD Jakes is that Diddy is now under FBI investigation. Who knows, TD may be next if Diddy testifies and identifies him, with Diddy facing significant time. It seems he could go to any extent to get out of prison as quickly as possible. He's so desperate that his lawyer Sean claimed that the rapper can't wait to take the stand in his impending trial. This might suggest he's preparing to divulge key names related to the problem. I'm not sure if I could keep him off the stand. I believe he is extremely anxious to share his narrative, and I think he will disclose every portion of his experience. Agnifilo added he has his tale, and he has a story that only he can tell in the manner he can tell it in real time. It's a human narrative. It's a story of love, it's a story of sorrow, it's a story of heartache.
I don't know that I could keep him off the stand. I think he is very eager to tell his story, and I think...
So it appears that more people will be going down with Diddy, since he also has evidence against those individuals to establish it in court to make matters worse. T.D. Jake and Diddy used to party and hang out together, and imagine what just a few weeks ago the pastor found himself in a bit of trouble concerning an allegation, and let's just say it didn't do his reputation any favors. Social media has become a bustling area where individuals acquire popularity. Trends come and go, and disputes take the focus. The latest buzz around prominent clergyman T.D. Jakes and rap magnate P. Diddy demonstrates this active internet environment. T.D. Jakes, a well-known figure, recently attracted attention not for his preaching, but for his purported relationship to P. Diddy. This startling combination of 2 very different individuals has created a surge of inquiry and conspiracy theories. Diddy, better known as Sean Combs, is conversant with controversy, but this latest twist adds another dimension to his already convoluted reputation. The scandal began with TikTok influencer Mia, who published a viral video making serious accusations about Diddy's erstwhile connection with his girlfriend, Cassie. The allegations contained disturbing information regarding physical and violent behavior. Among the unexpected accusations were reports of wild parties supposedly organized by Diddy, where TD Jake was believed to be a regular visitor. To make matters even stranger, the video hinted to a mystery phone belonging to Diddy's late ex-girlfriend, Kim Porter, potentially being involved. Her death has long been cloaked in mystery, with Diddy typically being in the heart of suspicion. This stunning video grabbed the internet by storm, leaving fans astonished, particularly concerning Bishop Jake's suspected participation in these unethical acts after facing some severe charges and a wave of outrage on social media. The preacher appears to have addressed the matter in a recent service webcast on YouTube. Jake used the opportunity to utilize his lecture to put the record straight regarding the accusations, which he firmly declared as entirely incorrect. Now, I'm close with this. I ain't come to convince you or anybody because I know who I am. I didn't come to convince you or anybody because I know who I am emotionally. Jake stated, that is not what this is about. You can think anything you choose to think. I came to perform my job. I came to prophesy. As I was instructed, I arrived to hear the master exult. Well done, thou good and loyal servant. But hey, didn't Diddy also endeavor to purify his image, and even go as far as resolving the case with Cassie by providing a substantial quantity of money? But that's not all, gentlemen. This doesn't simply cause problems for TD Jakes because of his actions. It also implies issues for other celebrities and politicians Diddy has partied and hanged out with now. Many people on social media presume that Diddy won't be able to testify because they will Epstein him, as one person said on X. Let's pray they don't Epstein Diddy. Another person remarked, Diddy knows a lot about so-called prominent individuals. He better have 24-hour security in jail with guards who don't fall asleep. The problem with TD Jakes and Diddy is just getting started. And it's getting intriguing with all the charges flying about and secrets that could come out in court. We have no clue how this will finish. One thing is obvious. Jake is in the limelight. Now will Diddy be able to depose in court against the persons who have been connected with him?
Remember when I said earlier, I've never seen so many cowards and black men in this business? I would have to put my...
Tyler Perry isn't a meal. Most everyone in Hollywood knows she's the guy behind the media franchise, the creator of his own studio, and a billionaire who's often praised for uplifting black stories from humble beginnings to building one of the most successful production empires in the world. Perry has been celebrated as a trailblazer for independent creators and a positive force in the entertainment industry. On the surface, it all looks like a perfect success story. But what if it told you that behind that glossy public image lies a much darker reality? Recently, too, Hollywood titans Samuel L. Jackson and Denzel Washington have come forward to expose the hidden side of Perry's empire, one that many don't want to believe exists.
The saying, when the devil ignores you, then you know you're doing something wrong.
Nah, that's a fact.
Lovely. Denzel.
Wait.
Despite his positive image, they claim there's a troubling pattern of exploitation, manipulation, and even sacrifices of young talent going on behind the scenes. We put too much pressure on Tyler Perry. You know what I mean? He ain't putting nobody on. Be what you're gonna be, but put your people on. Be wondering why people keep saying gatekeeper. These claims are serious and have the potential to shine light on the darker corners of the entertainment industry, where power and success often come at the expense of the vulnerable. Are they Hollywood's best-kept secret finally coming to light? Or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Jackson and Washington, who have decades of experience in the business, aren't just tossing around accusations. They've seen firsthand how Perry allegedly takes advantage of young actors, trapping them in bad contracts, overworking them, and stifling their potential. They contend that he conceals this predatory behavior behind his faux inspirational image. It's time to look more closely at the man behind the disguise and what's really going on behind those studio gates. A lot of what we see on TV and in movies these days, even if it's popular, can be full of detrimental stereotypes. This is concerning because these programs and movies make a lot of money, which means people watch them and may believe what they see. Tyler Perry, for example, is a wonderful, great businessman and has made a lot of successful movies. but people say he often portrays black men in a negative light, even though he professes that he doesn't intend to. This can lead to people's misconceptions about black men. It's also odd that we don't see many well-known black actors in his films, which raises questions about who he's providing opportunities to. This is not just about Tyler Perry. It's about how the entertainment industry functions in general, with some stories and groups of people being portrayed more than others. For this reason, it's critical to pay attention to voices like Lee, a well-known director who depicts the real lives of black people in his films. Lee has been vocal about the wrongness of displaying stereotypes, and people respect him for that reason. The issue isn't about preventing people from making movies. Rather, it's about exercising caution in what we place on screen. We need to ensure that everyone has an equal opportunity to tell their stories. Avoid perpetuating detrimental stereotypes that harm people, and be equitable in your portrayal of the world with all its diverse inhabitants and tales. Spike Lee and Tyler, two powerhouse figures in black cinema, haven't always been on the same page. Their very different approaches to filmmaking have caused some major tension, which culminated in a public outcry around 2009 when Spike never wanted to bite his tongue and went after Tyler's movies and TV shows, calling them out for what he saw as coterie and buffoonery. Basically saying Tyler was just playing up negative stereotypes about black people to make a quick buck. Spike even likened Tyler's work to what he dubbed the imbecile box, a fairly severe way to describe TV in general.
Because each artist should be allowed to pursue the artistic endeavor. But I still think they're...
While Tyler argued that he was creating jobs for black actors and making a ton of money, critics said that wasn't a good enough excuse, comparing it to a drug dealer making money in a community. Sure, there's cash flowing, but at what cost? Spike acknowledged that Tyler was smart and knew how to get an audience hooked, but he wasn't cool with the image being put out. There he felt like Tyler was sacrificing real representation just to get fire ratings. 7 if it meant falling back on harmful stereotypes. Honestly, a lot of people concurred with him while his films don't always establish box office records. Spike has always placed a strong emphasis on honoring black culture in a genuine and respectful manner. His work is centered on demonstrating his affection for the black community.
And the man has a huge audience, and Tyler's very smart.
But Tyler wasn't going to take Spike's criticism lying down in a heated moment that demonstrated the depth of the animosity between these two filmmakers. He let loose when asked about it in a 60 Minutes interview, sounding completely fed up with the whole thing and even telling Spike to go straight to hell. As an avant-garde director, Spike Lee set out to accomplish entirely different goals with his work. He became a master of political cinema with films such as Do the Right Thing. The films address challenging subjects, such as the violent past of America and the pervasive racism ingrained in the nation's institutions of government. His vision of cinema emanates a primal and powerful energy that engulfs the viewer and opens their eyes to a variety of socioeconomic realities. Each artist should be allowed to pursue their artistic endeavors, but I still believe there are a lot of things out today that are coterie and buffoonery. Lee said, referring to the state of black art, "The imagery is disturbing." He said during an appearance on Who's Talking to Chris Wallace, they should have personal liberty. Lee asserted, but he faulted artists like Perry for disseminating racist ideas while preying on the worst impulses of American audiences in response to the criticism. Perry declared that he had heard it all and claimed that the assaults on his popular media persona were the product of black community elitism. Perry further explained that his stories came from his early life, particularly from his time spent with his mother and her friends, and expanded on the defense of his particular brand of entertainment, stating that it is rooted in love. "I find great satisfaction in the films I've made since they reflect the folks I grew up with and still adore to this day." So you're disregarding the tales of millions and millions of black people. Perry said you're keening back to a period in our lives that we don't want to speak about, or that we don't want the public to see. I believe this is the reason it's been so successful. Many of us who are familiar with these ladies and their stories, as well as Uncle Joe and other people, can relate to it later on. Lee made it clear that the feud between him and Perry had subsided and that he was merely expressing his personal views. Nevertheless, he insisted that Tyler Perry is not the black community's greatest ally and that his treatment of Monique is the clearest indication of his betrayal of his people. Tyler Perry has been a self-made success story that inspires others in the industry for a very long time. He has built an empire on this image and earned a reputation as a kind and generous person in Hollywood. But now that this carefully crafted persona is starting to fall apart, his reputation is starting to take a nosedive when Missouri Nick spoke out about her treatment during the film's promotion. Perry and others were accused of attempting to suppress her voice and impede her career in this attempt to blackball Monique from the industry misfire, bringing attention to the power dynamics at play and casting doubt on Perry's genuine nature. Now that Monique has exposed Perry for numerous alleged transgressions, she is retaliating with a vengeance. The video that she has made public exposes a different side of Perry than his public image, including acts and behaviors that could seriously harm his reputation in the business. Now, it all started with the movie Precious, in which she starred Tyler and Oprah, who were part of the executive production team. The whole situation after Precious wrapped was quite the drama, so Monique, Oprah Winfrey, and Perry were all involved in this film. Right after filming concluded, Monique got struck with a request to go on a major press tour to promote the movie. I mean, that's fairly standard stuff, right? You complete a film, you've got to do the rounds, speak about it, and get people enthusiastic.
If Oprah was watching this, what would you tell her?
I would say, Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do. And stop hiding.
But here's the twist. Monique was told it wouldn't be paid. Yeah, they wanted her to go to this huge event, but they weren't going to compensate her for it. And that didn't sit well with her, so Monique put her foot down and said, nope, I'm not doing it. But then comes this curveball. They wanted her to fly out to the Cannes Film Festival in France. Now, that's not your average press stops. It's like the cream of the crop in terms of film festivals, super fancy and prestigious. She's got an awk show, a comedy tour, and a family to take care of. Why should she drop everything and fly across the world for free? Especially when it wasn't part of her original deals. She made her position clear in a statement to The Hollywood Reporter, essentially saying, I've done my part. I'm not obligated to go above and beyond. And you know what? She's right. She fulfilled her contractual obligations. And beyond that, it's her choice how she spends her time. You know what? I can understand her perspective. Let's now examine what transpired after Monique declined to attend the Cannes Film Festival. Tyler, a well-known figure in the entertainment industry, was not pleased with Monique's choice. You see, Perry has a lot of influence, so when Monique refused something he desired, it didn't set well with him from Missouri. Nick's point of view was that she was defending her own rights, reaffirming her value, and choosing what she believed to be best for her family and career. But from Perry's perspective, it might have appeared that she was being obstinate or uncooperative.
I've never worked with Tyler Perry.
Okay.
I never worked with Tyler Perry. The way that relationship came.
Some reports suggest that Perry made things fairly difficult for Monique after she turned down the Cannes invitation. Others claimed that there were fewer offers coming her way, or there were whispers behind the scenes that made it harder for her to secure roles. Whatever the case, it's obvious that there was some tension brewing between the attempts to negotiate a WGAW contract for correspondence on the program. The Guild filed a discriminatory labor practice allegation with the National Labor Relations Board against House of Pain, LLC, the production entity for the Perry-owned Cindy TBS comedy House of Pain and Meet the Browns. In the meantime, family, keep it genuine. Let us know what you think. Do you believe he's genuinely concealing behind a facade? In the comments section below. If you like this video, don't fail to subscribe so you don't miss any future ones.